Okay, so we see the transmethylation reaction carried out by methionine adenosine transferase, which transfers the methyl group, the terminal methyl group of this or the whole moiety into the adenine. Adenine. Okay, so this will become S-adenosyl methionine, SAM. So lack of actually this reaction is important in the cyclic pathway where SAM is actually acting as a methyl group donor. Here methyl group acceptor, this methyl group acceptor takes methyl group from this adenosyl methionine and get converted into methylated product. Okay, it can be thymine or any other substrate which needs methyl group. Okay, like thymine is 5-methyl pyrimidine. Okay, 5-methyl-2,4-dioxypyrimidine. So it takes methyl group and convert it into the respective molecules. So here the donor of methyl group is SAM, S-adenosyl methionine. Okay, and this S-adenosyl methionine, after donating its methyl group, get converted into S-adenosyl homocysteine. Okay, this S-adenosyl homocysteine, when one water molecule adds here, adenosine get removed. Okay, and it becomes homocysteine alone. Okay, so what is the structure of homocysteine? COOS, CHNH2, CH2, CH2, SH. And upon actually addition of serine into one homocysteine molecule, it in presence of enzyme cystathione synthase, it forms cystathione. Cystathione is another important molecule in the body which is useful in many reactions. Okay, many reaction. We'll see in detail in the next part. Okay, so this basically this homocysteine when it reacts with again OH group of serine, okay, it becomes methionine. Okay, again it becomes methionine. So this cycle, basically this cycle leads to the production of methionine and homocysteine in the body, and this also involves in the lots of methyl transferases reaction, which is the important during the methylation, or we can say that hypermethylation of DNA. So remember the cyclic pathway. And what happens to this cystathione? This cystathione, when it reacts with one water molecule in presence of cystathionase, it gets converted into cysteine and homoserine back. So what is the cystathione? Cystathione is just a combination of homocysteine and serine. Okay, when they fuse together, they form cystathione, and this cystathione back converted into cysteine and homoserine, and this homoserine in presence of deaminase get converted into alpha ketobutyrate, which forms propionyl CoA, and propionyl CoA converted into succinyl CoA, and you all know that this succinyl CoA will go to the TCA for further metabolism and energy production. Okay, so the carbon skeleton of cysteine forms basically serine, and the sulfur from methionine is basically involved in the this cycle. Okay, what is there is a disorder known as homocysteinuria. It occurs due to the lack of cystathione synthase. When this enzyme cystathione synthase is missing or defective in the body, there occur accumulation of homocysteine in the blood, and this homocysteine is actually very causes harmful effect. It causes weakening of bones, and sometimes disturbance to the other physiological process also. Basically, this disease is basically this disease, the main symptoms of this disease is bone weakness, increased sensitivity of bone, fragility, and extra. Now coming to the next part, the aromatic amino acid metabolism. The first aromatic amino acid is phenylalanine, which belongs to the class both glucogenic and ketogenic. This is the structure of phenylalanine, where on a top of benzene ring CH2, CHNH2, COOH is attached. This is also known as phenylalanine. If you can see closely to this structure, you can observe only one hydrogen get replaced with the benzene ring. One hydrogen of alanine get replaced with the benzene ring, and hence it is known as phenylalanine. There is an enzyme. We learned about this enzyme during the study of amino acid metabolism disorders, okay, hereditary disorders in nutritional biochemistry paper, where we learned that phenylalanine hydroxylase converted phenylalanine into the tyrosine. What this enzyme do? This enzyme just put a hydroxyl group at para position of this benzene ring, and this is the structure of tyrosine. It is basically similar to phenylalanine, just addition of OH group is there at the bottom of the benzene ring. So this enzyme actually requires a cofactor biopterin, which linked with the NADP, H plus H positive. Okay, so so this is the overall reaction mechanism. And this tyrosine, when it reacts with alpha ketoglutarate, which converted into glutamate, and see here the enzyme is transaminases. This transaminases convert this tyrosine into para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. Okay, when amino group of alanine removed during transamination reaction, we saw earlier, right? We saw that alanine, when it get transaminated, it produced pyruvate. Similarly, when phenylalanine get transaminated via transamination reaction, it converted into the para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. Okay, so this para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate, when it reacts with the para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate monooxygenase, there occur addition of one oxygen here and one oxygen here. It forms homogentisate. This is the basic structure of homogentisate, which in presence of homogentisate oxidase forms mallyl acetoacetate. So this is the structure of mallyl acetoacetate, which upon isomerization or in presence of glutathione, GSH, it forms fumarate acetoacetate, and which upon hydrolases forms fumarate and acetoacetate. Fumarate here basically enters into the TCA cycle and involved in energy production. And acetoacetate, it can back converted into acetyl coenzyme A, which can further metabolize via same TCA cycle. So this is the fate of phenylalanine and tyrosine. Remember, the deficiency of or defectiveness of phenylalanine hydroxylase causes phenylketonuria, or the defectiveness of this enzyme homogentisate oxidase basically causes excess accumulation of homogentisate inside the body, which will turn black upon air exposure, and this disease is known as alkaptonuria. So these reactions are very important in terms of basic not only about the basic physiology, but also in the clinical point of view. Like clinically, if any enzyme of this pathway get defective, the person will suffer with a hereditary amino acid metabolic diseases. So remember this. And the next is there are certain other amino acid also which comes in the category of aromatic amino acid, like tryptophan Tryptophan is also essential, belongs to essential amino acid class, and it is also glucogenic and ketogenic. And this is the structure of tryptophan, where one benzene ring is fused with uh, a furan ring on which nitrogen atom is there. Okay, so 5 atom ring, this is actually, and it is again connected with the alanine. So there is a complete 6 atom benzene ring, 5 atom furan ring, and then alanine. This in presence of tryptophan pyrrolase, which is an iron containing enzyme, get converted into N-formyl quinurine. Nowadays, there are lots of research going on the function of quinurine. Quinurine is involved in the most of the biological processes. Okay, so just you can see any book of this molecular biology and you can find about this quinurine and just read it. Okay, so N-formyl quinurine in presence of quinurine formylase get converted into quinurine, which upon hydroxylation in presence of hydroxylase enzyme get converted into 3-hydroxy quinurine. 3-hydroxy quinurine in presence of quinuronase get converted into 3-hydroxyxanthranilic acid. 3-hydroxyxanthranilic acid via 3 steps converted into nicotinamide nucleotide, or it can undergo 7 steps of reaction and converted into acetoacetyl-CoA. So this is basically larger pathway. I don't think that it is actually actually it is lengthy, quite lengthy, but you have to just see the basics of this pathway. How important is the formation of quinurine, what is the importance of quinurine, and what is the importance of nicotinamide. Like you can see that here the synthesis of this is also a biosynthetic pathway for nicotinamide. Okay, and this 3-hydroxyxanthranilic acid also converted into acetoacetyl-CoA, which can further metabolize via TCA cycle by converting into acetyl coenzyme. So basically tryptophan pyrrolase enzyme is very important, and it actually decide the concentration of niacin, NAD or NADP inside the body. So what is the importance of tryptophan? Tryptophan basically involves in the synthesis of NAD and NADP. If there is a deficiency of tryptophan, then definitely there is a deficiency of NAD and NADP inside the body, and it will lead to the several metabolic consequences. The next pathway is serotonin pathway. In this pathway, actually serotonin is synthesized or get metabolized via common tryptophan pathway. Serotonin is serotonin is formed from tryptophan. Okay, 5-hydroxytryptophan is 5-hydroxytryptamine is serotonin. Okay, it is a neurotransmitter. It founds in the mast cell and platelets. It acts as a vasoconstrictor for blood vessels and bronchioles, and it is also acts as a transmitter in gastrointestinal tract to release the peptide hormone. This tryptophan, basically in presence of tryptophan hydroxylase, which requires biopterin as a cofactor, and which is again associated with the NADPH plus H positive, this tryptophan during this reaction converted into 5-hydroxyl tryptophan. Here at the 5th carbon of this ring, hydroxyl group get attached, and this is the structure of 5-hydroxy tryptophan, which upon decarboxylation, the CO2 get removed in this reaction. It get converted into 5-hydroxy tryptamine. Okay, just here addition of OH group and this removal of CO2 group, and this is the structure of your serotonin, which is very important neurotransmitter in the body. And this is also like this is also known as, I think, feel good hormone. Okay, so this is very important in the body. This 5-hydroxytryptamine, actually it can further metabolized through acetyl transferase enzyme into, it get further metabolized into N-acetyl 5-hydroxyl tryptamine. N-acetyl tryptamine, and this N-acetyl tryptamine in presence of enzyme O-methyl transferase get converted into melatonin. Okay, melatonin. If anybody aware about melatonin, it is associated with the sleep. Okay, this is also again an hormonal like compound which influence our sleep. Many people believes and researches shows that the person who have enough amount of melatonin at night get good amount of sleep. So this is important to maintain our proper sleep. So I think you people now can understand the importance of tryptophan. It is not only involved in the formation of nicotinamide, but also important in the synthesis of serotonin and melatonin. Okay, so this is all about the tryptophan metabolism and catabolism. Okay, now coming to the next amino acid, which belongs to the class branch chain amino acid. These amino acid actually include, branch chain amino acid includes leucine, isoleucine and valine. They are taken up by the, basically these amino acid taken up by the striated muscle after protein meal and oxidized into the skeletal muscle. Okay, and these branch chain amino acid basically used as a fuel by the brain during the time of starvation. So leucine is basically converted into, after degradation, converted into acetyl coenzyme A and acetoacetate, and isoleucine get converted into succinyl CoA and acetyl CoA. Valine is converted into succinyl CoA and CO2. So you can see here valine is purely ketogenic because it produces only succinyl CoA, which enters into the Krebs cycle. And isoleucine and leucine, they produce acetyl coenzyme A and acetoacetate, and succinyl CoA and acetyl coenzyme A subsequently. So you can see these amino acids belongs to the class ketogenic amino acid. Now coming to the next basic amino acids. The first is histidine. This is glucogenic amino acid. Basically, together with beta-alanine, it forms carnosine. Okay, carnosine is beta-alanine histidine. And anserine. Anserine is methyl carnosine. What they do in the body, they basically provide the buffering capacity and maintain the pH of anaerobically contracting skeletal muscles. So carnosine and anserine basically maintain the pH during anaerobic metabolism in skeletal muscles. They activate myosin ATPase enzyme, and they also chelate copper and enhance copper uptake. So histidine, when it reacts with the decarboxylase, histidine decarboxylase enzyme, they form histamine. There occurs just removal of CO2 group and histamine is produced. Histamine, you know that it is a main molecule which involves in a many inflammatory reaction, and it also causes this not only inflammation, but it also involves in many type of allergic reaction, gastric acid secretion and neurotransmission in the brain. So this is the importance of histidine, a glucogenic amino acid. Next, the next basic amino acid is arginine. It is non-essential and glucogenic. Okay. It basically participates in the formation of creatinine and polyamines, and it also involved in the synthesis of nitric oxide. You should know about this. Actually, nitric oxide is neurotransmitter. It also acts as a local hormone, and it involves in many antibactericidal activities inside the body. It is a free radical gas. So you should know, because in lots of competitive exams, this question is asked, like what is the role of nitric oxide and how it gets synthesized. Actually, it gets synthesized from L-arginine through our when L-arginine reacts with NADPH plus H positive in presence of enzyme nitric oxide synthase, it converted into L-citrulline, and there occur release of NO, nitric oxide. What it do? What it does? It actually possesses tumoricidal and bactericidal action in macrophages, like I explained, and it also relaxes smooth muscles. It causes vasodilation. It prevents platelet aggregation, and it also acts as a neurotransmitter in the brain. So this is the overall fate of arginine in supplying nitric oxide in the body, and upon metabolism it get converted into citrulline, and this citrulline get further metabolized via other cycles. The another basic amino acid is lysine. It is essential amino acid and ketogenic. Basically, lysine get metabolized via a specific pathway. It is involved in the formation of histone, hydroxylysine, and carnitine. Lysine-bound protein, basically, how lysine-bound protein get metabolized? They get transmethylation reaction. Here same, see the importance of SAM. SAM is always a acts as a methyl group donor in many reaction of the body. This SAM donates its methyl group to the lysine bound protein, and it get converted into trimethyl lysine bound protein, which reacts with the proteases enzyme, and trimethyl lysine get released, and this trimethyl lysine, when it interacts with the hydroxylase enzyme, it forms beta hydroxy trimethyl lysine, and this beta hydroxy trimethyl lysine interacts with the aldolase enzyme, and here occur broken breakdown. Glycine get removed from this, and it produces gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate, which upon hydroxylation in presence of enzyme hydroxylase produces beta hydroxy gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate. The compound name is beta hydroxy gamma trimethyl ammonium butyrate. That is your carnitine. I explained you the role of carnitine while we studied fatty acid synthesis and beta oxidation of fatty acid. What carnitine do in the body? Carnitine basically involved in the transportation of medium chain and long chain fatty acid from the cytosol to the mitochondria, because all beta oxidation enzymes involved in beta oxidation pathway are present inside the mitochondria. So the fatty acids get transported to the mitochondria for further metabolism. So this is a very important role of lysine. It involves in the production of carnitine, which basically present inside the mitochondrial membrane and involves in the transportation of fatty acids. So if you people are cleared about this, then we'll move to next heading, or if you have any question you can ask. Next we move to the acidic amino acid. The first acidic amino acid is glutamic acid. It is also non-essential and glucogenic amino acid. Okay, so it participates in the formation of glutathione and proline. We have seen earlier the formation of glutathione when we studied the glycine. Okay, so you can reconnect it there, and it is also involved in the formation of glutamine, which is a storage and transporter of ammonia inside the body. The fourth important function of glutamic acid is the formation of GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. It is an important neurotransmitter in the brain. Glutamic acid, upon decarboxylation, in presence of enzyme glutamate decarboxylase, get converted into GABA. So what is the difference between GABA and glutamic acid? Just removal of CO2. There occur removal of CO2 and it forms COOH, CH2, NH2, gamma amino butyric acid. And this GABA, upon transamination reaction, get converted into succinic semialdehyde. Okay, because here too it is just an example of succinic a structure of succinic acid. Just in replacement of one COOH group, there is a aldehyde group present here. So it is succinic semialdehyde, which on dehydrogenation in presence of succinic semialdehyde dehydrogenase get converted into succinic acid. Then we learn this structure during Krebs cycle. Okay, COOH, CH2, CH2, COOH. This is succinic acid. So this succinic acid actually involves in the TCA, and then it can also supply the precursor for gluconeogenic pathway. Okay, so in this way, this is glucogenic, and this is overall the metabolism of glutamic acid. Glutamic acid can also, this is the same repeated slide, and next amino acid is aspartic acid. There's also a acidic, non-essential, and glucogenic in nature. Okay, it involves in the formation of asparagine, okay, purine, pyrimidine, and it will also involve in the formation of arginosuccinate in urea cycle. It also forms alanine by decarboxylation, and it also involves in the formation of oxalate and glucose by transamination. So we can see transaminase, when acts on this aspartate, it forms oxaloacetate or oxalate. We have seen this reaction earlier. And when there occur decarboxylation, it forms alanine. And aspartic acid can also involve in the purine pyrimidine synthesis. There is a one step. We will see it in our fourth unit. Okay. And when glutamine donates its extra amino group to aspartic acid, it get converted into asparagine. So these are the important role of asparagine inside the body. Okay, now coming to the next important thing, almost all amino acid we have seen the biosynthesis and almost catabolism and metabolism process and various physiological role of almost all amino acid inside the body. And now this is something you should remember about the amino acid which is acting as a precursor of neurotransmitter. So first is serine and choline. They involve in the synthesis of acetylcholine, and the another one is arginine. We have seen this reaction, how arginine produces nitric oxide, and the another is tryptophan, which produce serotonin, and the serotonin and histidine involves in the synthesis of histamine. Phenylalanine produce dopamine, and norepinephrine and epinephrine, and glutamic acid involves in the synthesis of gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA. So there are 6 amino acid which directly or indirectly synthesize most important neurotransmitters in the body. This is very important topic, and you should know about it. We have seen this in our nutritional biochemistry class, the errors of amino acid metabolism and clinical significance. Okay, here we just see because this is the blurred actually. If you, this slide is blurred, just quickly remind you. I just quickly remind you about the pathways. Like albinism is happens happens when melanin synthesis is impaired in the body, and the enzyme defective is tyrosine 3 monooxygenase. There are a lack of pigmentation, white hair, pink skin. Okay, alkaptonuria occurs due to defective tyrosine degradation, and the enzyme defective is homogentesis dioxygenase, and there occur dark pigment in urine and late developing arthritis. Arginemia happens due to defective urea synthesis pathway, and defective enzyme is arginase. It basically leads to mental retardation. Arginosuccinic acidemia actually occur due to urea cycle defectiveness, and here defective enzyme is arginosuccinase, and the basic symptoms of this defect is vomiting and convulsions. Carbamyl phosphate synthetase first deficiency leads to the defective urea synthesis pathway, and defective enzyme here is carbamyl phosphate synthase 1. It causes basically lethargy, convulsions, and early death. Homocystinuria is another amino acid metabolic disorder where methionine degradation get impaired, and the defective enzyme is cystathione beta synthase. I already explained this during in earlier slide that it causes faulty bone development, mental retardation, or enhances the bone fragility. Maple syrup urine diseases generally occur due to defective degradation of branch chain amino acid, isoleucine, leucine, and valine, and this happens due to the defective enzyme complex known as branch chain alpha keto acid dehydrogenase complex. The basic symptoms of this disorders are vomiting, convulsions, mental retardation, and early death. Methylmalonic acidemia causes impaired conversion, causes due to impaired conversion of propanil CoA to succinyl CoA. Here defective enzyme is methylmalonyl CoA mutase, and the basic symptoms includes vomiting, convulsions, mental retardation, and early death. Another disorder is phenylketonuria, which is occur due to defective process of conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine, and the enzyme which is impaired in this pathway is phenylalanine hydroxylase. The basic symptoms includes neonatal vomiting and mental retardation. So this is all about the amino acid metabolism, their clinical significance, basic reaction, all the important functions of amino acid, and how amino acid involves in the synthesis of many neurotransmitters. So if you people have any sort of question, you can ask question, or any sort of doubt you can clear.